West Texas agency that helps those falling on hard times with rent, gas, and food now has even more funds to give and has loosened qualifications for those who need support. Plus, as the world is falling on desperate times, blood banks are desperate for the one thing that almost anyone can give at no cost at all. And house hunters, listen up. You're not alone if the economy has you questioning whether it's the right time or when it will be the right time to invest in a home for the best buck. Good news, we have the answer. Coming up right now on The Rundown.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Keni Mac. Nearly a week after bars reopening and Texans are urged to follow strict guidelines going against the grain, a Texas bar owner is making it clear he does not want people wearing masks at his establishment. Now, an Elgin bar owner of Liberty Tree Tavern, Kevin Smith, said he's following social distancing guidelines in his bar, so the masks seem unnecessary. Now let's take a look at the guidelines that are currently in bars as they reopen. Hand sanitizing stations at entry of each establishment, no more than 25% full capacity, and patrons aren't allowed to order drinks at the bar. Tables must be 6 feet apart with no more than 6 people per table or dance floors. Now we want to know if you were to go out to a bar or go out to a business and the business owner asked you to take your mask off, if you would do that. You can vote on myfoxzone.com/vote or download our free Fox West Texas mobile app, and you can vote no, I have the right to keep it on, sure, it's their business, or you're just unsure. Let us know and we'll share the results in just a bit.
And they're trying to head east on Jefferson because they're blocked. We hear loud pops happening, and don't know what that was. People are now scattering. I'm ducked behind a wall. I've lost my photographer, Philip. He is somewhere else.
Louisville Metro Police confirmed 7 people were shot in the midst of a protest calling for justice, one of the many across the U.S. taking place this evening. Meanwhile, taking a look at protesters who swarmed Denver, blocking traffic and smashing vehicles, and protesters even stood in the middle of the interstate. A cell phone video actually has been shared widely across the country showing a driver moving through one group and apparently intentionally hitting a protester in downtown Denver. Earlier this afternoon, protests began to form a little closer to home in Houston. Groups of people started forming in the streets just outside of downtown, and we're being told by our sister station KHOU that a Justice for George rally organized by Black Lives Matter is underway in the city in memory of George Floyd, who died at the hands of Minneapolis police officers. And that former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin has been charged in the death of George Floyd. Hennepin County Attorney Mike Freeman said Chauvin is charged with third-degree murder, but they are continuing to review evidence and there may be subsequent charges later. You're getting a look at groups of people beginning to flood the streets just outside of downtown Houston. We're being told by our sister station KHOU that a Justice for George rally organized by Black Lives Matter is underway in the city. People carrying signs chanting "No justice, no peace," among other rallying cries. Hundreds have marched from Discovery Green to Houston City Hall today in memory of George Floyd, who died at the hands of Minneapolis police officers. Thanks for joining The Rundown. I'm Keni Mac. That former Minneapolis police officer, Derek Chauvin, has been charged with murder and manslaughter in the death of Floyd. And Hennepin County Attorney Mike Freeman said Chauvin is charged with third-degree murder, but they are continuing to review evidence, and there may be subsequent charges later. The manslaughter charge is second degree.
The investigation is ongoing. We felt it appropriate to focus on the most dangerous perpetrator.
From Louisville, Kentucky to Denver, Colorado to Houston and even the Alamo, demonstrators are making sure they're heard across the U.S. Early this morning, showing the Alamo Cenopath was vandalized with spray paint. The red graffiti was found by police on the historic marble statue in the Alamo Plaza around 1:15 a.m. The words reading "White Supremacy, Profit over People," and the Alamo, each lined, prefaced with a downward-facing arrow. Now we get a glimpse tonight, a little closer to where it all began. San Angelo police have arrested and charged this man, 18-year-old Anthony Rodriguez, as the suspect connected to a drive-by shooting that injured 4 people outside of a club, El Patron, on South Chadbourn in San Angelo. Let's take it over to Tim, who is enjoying that sunshine outside of the studio today. He's gearing up for that football Monica was just talking about in Crystalville. Hey, Tim, how's it going? Take some schools from the Big Country and San Angelo, for example, or the Concho Valley. In 2017, the Texas Tribune showed that the dropout rate was 0.9% in San Angelo at Central. That's the biggest school in the Concho Valley. And then over at Abilene High, where she just was, that was a 1.1%. So to get that to that 0% is really fascinating. And then let's take a look at that graphic that she had in her story. It's such a big topic of discussion, education is in Texas, and something Governor Greg Abbott has really put emphasis on recently. And according to usnews.com, Texas ranks 34 out of the 50 states in education. The U.S. average graduation rate is 85%. And good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in with us tonight. We begin with an update to a story that we told you about last Friday regarding a former San Angelo police chief, Tim Vasquez of San Angelo, who has been charged with public corruption stemming from accepting bribes and funneling payments through his band. A virus in China that has sickened hundreds and killed at least 6 is now in Washington state. People across the country continue to take precautions, like major airports in New York and California, who have started screening passengers on connecting flights from Wuhan, China, where the disease was first reported.
Second case of COVID-19 confirmed in Tom Green County.
According to a press release from the City of San Angelo's Public Information Office, the individual is a man in his 20s who came in contact with another person who tested positive. President Trump declared a major disaster in Texas, ordering federal assistance to supplement state and local recovery efforts for COVID-19. And this is according to a press release from the White House. And a third coronavirus relief bill comes up for a vote in the Senate, which has been made to aid millions of Americans who are out of work due to the virus. In the meantime, the president is doubling down on his hope to reopen the U.S. economy by Easter. We have more tonight from Washington.
Game 1 of the World Series has come and gone. Thank you so much for sticking with us here on Fox West Texas.
Yeah, it was a long game, and if you think that was good, well, the good stuff's just now starting, right here on Fox West Texas Live.
You're right about that, Kenny. We have your full recap of what happened tonight in the World Series, and we're looking forward to what's going to happen for the Astros coming up. But this is what we're working on right now.
Gender equality, the historically used female symbol being taken off of a brand's feminine hygiene products.
Granny power. This granny proves you're never too old to get in shape.
If you like today, you're going to like tomorrow. A carbon copy forecast, lots of sunshine. Call it picture perfect. But in true Texas fashion, changes are on the way. We'll talk about it with chances for rain.
It looks like he's removing some of the bottles that must have been scattered in the mix.
You might have seen this online. Our sister station captured what appears to be a Dallas police officer holding bottles of alcohol while walking around a liquor store that was destroyed from the tornadoes that ripped through North Texas on Sunday.
It's raised a lot of questions online, many saying this officer was caught looting after the storms, and many of you have texted us sharing your opinion.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of those texts right now. These are just a few that you've shared with us today. One of which saying, I think he was setting it down in front of his dash cam, so if anybody else tried to steal it while he was away, then he would be able to see that. Someone just saying, I support the cop. And another going on to say that there had just been a major tornado go through there. I imagine he was a little shaken.
That one doesn't quite make sense to me. However, after watching that now for the 10th, 11th time, maybe we'll never know what was going on inside his head. But
I love this one. It said if you're looking for something bad, basically you'll create something bad. So if you want to see that police officer stealing alcohol, that's what's going to happen.
There are several ways to take that video. And after that video gained traction, officials investigated. They said that they've pulled the officer's dash cam footage and checked his logs, and officials said, quote, he was protecting the property of the business owner. The officer, whose name has not been released, said he approached a woman with bottles in her hands, took them, and put them on the ground.
Now, the speculation continues, as we said, and we do invite you to continue sharing your opinion with us. You can text us at 325-400-8785. A family's devastation. After losing their home and their loved one in a house fire, they say their AC and heating unit sparked the disaster. Buckling down, After dozens of deaths and hundreds of illnesses from vaping, a West Texas school district is putting their foot down, making a change. A bird invasion. One community shocked after hundreds of birds flew into a building. All of this and much more starting right now. This is Fox West Texas, live at 9. We begin tonight with an update to a murder that happened earlier this month. This man, Chris Pritchett, has been wanted for capital murder of Michael Schindler, the owner of Two Wheel World in Tarrant County, since October 3rd. That's when police found Schindler dead with a gunshot wound inside his business. Pritchett was an associate of the victim and was seen leaving the business in a vehicle that he took from that scene. On October 12th, police got word that Pritchett had been hiding in a home in Menard. As officers approached that residence, they heard a gunshot and found Pritchett dead inside with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The stolen vehicle that Pritchett took from that scene that day was found wrecked in the woods of Menard. And we do have another update tonight.
We do.
Stay on the water can turn dangerous real fast. One city implemented a landmark meant to keep you safe. So what exactly do you need to look out for? We'll tell you. And it's one of the biggest events of the year. The West Texas Fair and Rodeo is back, y'all. But first, it's week 1 of the Friday Night Lights 2019 season. You're watching The Rundown.
Welcome everyone to the Rundown on this Friday, and it's not just any Friday, it is a very special Friday. And for those of you who are not out underneath those Friday night lights, or the lights will be coming on here very shortly, we're glad that you're with us. I'm Ricky Cody alongside Keni Mac.
Absolutely. Now, if you're not out there, it's okay. We got you covered all night long, starting with the Rundown, then at 9 o'clock with Fox West Texas Live, and then at 10:30 for Fox Football Live. We're going to get right out to our game of the week. Tim is standing by live in San Angelo right now at San Angelo Stadium. What's going on, Tim?